The internet, a breeding ground for cat videos and conspiracy theories, has a nasty habit of warping reality. What starts as innocent entertainment can quickly spiral into a vortex of misinformation, where the lines between fact and fiction blur. Misinformation spreads like wildfire, fueled by algorithms and our own confirmation biases. These algorithms are designed to keep us engaged, often by showing us content that aligns with our pre-existing beliefs, regardless of its truthfulness. It's a chaotic ecosystem where facts are optional and outrage is currency. In this environment, the loudest voices often drown out the most accurate ones, creating a breeding ground for conflict and division. And within this digital jungle, a particularly insidious breed of internet denizen thrives: the flying monkey. These individuals are not just passive consumers of misinformation, they actively spread it, often with malicious intent. These aren't adorable primates from a children's book. They are far more menacing, operating under the guise of anonymity to wreak havoc online. No, these flying monkeys are devoted followers who, wittingly or unwittingly, do the bidding of their online idol, often a charismatic manipulator with a penchant for exploiting others. These leaders know how to push the right buttons, inciting their followers to act on their behalf. They swarm, they harass, they discredit. Their attacks are often coordinated, making them even more effective and harder to combat. They are the digital attack dogs of the internet age. Their bites may not be physical, but the emotional and psychological damage they inflict can be just as severe. Think of them as weaponized parrots, squawking out pre-digested talking points without a thought for their veracity. They repeat what they've been told, amplifying the reach and impact of misinformation. They are the human shield, the PR team, the loyal foot soldiers in an online army of misinformation. Their loyalty to their leader often blinds them to the truth, making them unwitting participants in a larger scheme. And their impact can be devastating. Victims of their attacks can suffer from severe emotional distress, leading to real-world consequences that extend far beyond the digital realm. The scars left by these digital assaults can last a lifetime, affecting mental health, relationships, and even careers. Enter Onision, the YouTube persona of Gregory Jackson, a man who embodies the dark side of internet fame. Once known for his bizarre, often shocking videos, Onision amassed a sizable following, a captive audience for his particular brand of online performance art. But beneath the veneer of eccentricity lay something far more sinister. Allegations of manipulation, grooming and abuse began to surface, painting a disturbing picture of a man who used his platform and influence to prey on vulnerable young women. Onision, of course, denied everything. But the accusations were too numerous, too consistent to ignore. The stories from alleged victims followed a chillingly similar pattern. Initial flattery and attention, followed by isolation, control and abuse. These young women, often fans or aspiring influencers themselves, were drawn in by the allure of fame and the promise of mentorship. Onision, they claimed, would use his fame and the promise of online notoriety to lure young women into his orbit. His charismatic online persona masked a darker reality, one where manipulation and control were the norm. He would then, they alleged, isolate them from their support systems, manipulate them emotionally, and create an environment where they felt dependent on him. This dependency was a key part of his control and coerced them into sexual acts. The alleged victims described a pattern of behavior that was both predatory and systematic, leaving them feeling trapped and powerless. These are serious accusations, and it's important to note that Onision has never been convicted of a crime related to these allegations. The legal system has yet to hold him accountable, despite the numerous claims. However, the sheer volume of accusations, combined with Onision's own erratic behavior and documented history of manipulation, painted a troubling picture. His actions have sparked widespread concern and debate about the responsibilities of influencers and the potential for abuse in online relationships. Onision, like many online personalities accused of wrongdoing, turned to his most ardent supporters for defense. And his flying monkeys did not disappoint. Armed with internet anonymity and a fervent belief in their idol's innocence, they went on the attack. Victims were doxxed, their personal information plastered across the internet. They were subjected to relentless online harassment, a torrent of abuse designed to silence and intimidate. The message was clear: speak out against Onision, and you will suffer the consequences. Section 5. Scars that run deep: emotional and psychological impact. The emotional and psychological toll on Onision's alleged victims was immense. Imagine being publicly accused of lying about abuse, your trauma dismissed as a desperate attempt for attention. Imagine being bombarded with death threats, your every move scrutinized by a hostile online mob. The internet, for all its wonders, can be a cruel and unforgiving place, particularly for those who dare to speak truth to power. The scars of online harassment run deep, leaving victims feeling isolated, traumatized, and afraid to speak out. Section 6. Chris Hansen enters the fray, shining a light on dark corners. The allegations against Onision might have remained buried in the murky depths of the internet were it not for the relentless efforts of investigative journalist Chris Hansen. His determination to uncover the truth and bring justice to the victims was unwavering. Known for his groundbreaking work on To Catch a Predator, Hansen turned his attention to Onision, a controversial figure with a dark online presence. He began interviewing alleged victims, meticulously documenting their harrowing stories of manipulation and abuse. Each interview added a new layer to the complex narrative, painting a disturbing picture of Onision's actions. Hansen's involvement brought mainstream attention to the allegations against Onision, exposing his behavior to a wider audience and prompting a wave of public scrutiny. The media coverage was extensive, with news outlets picking up the story and amplifying the voices of the victims. This newfound attention forced many to confront the uncomfortable truths about online harassment and abuse. The flying monkeys, once emboldened by anonymity, found themselves facing a more skeptical public, their tactics of harassment and intimidation losing their effectiveness. The exposure of their actions led to a significant shift in the online community, where accountability and transparency began to take precedence over fear and silence. The dark corners of the internet were no longer safe havens for those who thrived on causing harm. Section 7. The long arm of the law: legal repercussions and platform action. While Onision has never been convicted of a crime related to the allegations against him, the legal and social consequences of his actions have been significant. He's faced lawsuits, lost sponsorships, and become a pariah within the online community. YouTube, facing mounting pressure, eventually demonetized Onision's channels, cutting off his primary source of income. It was a long overdue step, a recognition that platforms have a responsibility to protect their users from predatory behavior. Section 8. The importance of accountability preventing future abuse. The case of Onision serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of internet fame and the dangers of unchecked online influence. It highlights the importance of accountability, both for individuals who abuse their power and for the platforms that enable them. We must demand better from our online spaces. We must hold platforms accountable for the content they host and the behavior they allow to flourish. And we must support victims of online abuse, providing them with the resources and support they need to heal and rebuild. Section 9. Strategies for a safer digital space. Empowering users. Creating a safer digital space requires a multifaceted approach. Platforms must implement stricter policies against harassment and abuse, investing in content moderation and prioritizing user safety over engagement metrics. Users, too, have a role to play. We must be critical consumers of online information, questioning sources and challenging misinformation. We must stand up to online bullies and support those who are targeted. And we must teach young people about online safety, empowering them to navigate the digital world with confidence and awareness. Section 10. A call to action. We can do better than this nonsense. The internet, for all its flaws, holds immense potential for connection, creativity and progress. But to unlock that potential, We must confront its dark side, challenging the toxic behavior and systems that allow abuse to flourish. The case of Onision is a wake-up call. It's time to demand better from our online spaces, to hold abusers accountable, and to create a digital world where everyone feels safe, respected, and empowered. Let's not let the flying monkeys win. Let's build something better.